Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's confirmation video post. This lovely Thursday morning, I'm here at the Lutheran Church of the Redeemer in Monaco. Invite you to come visit if you get an opportunity. Beautiful church, good people. So we are going through the commandments. The first commandment, you shall have no other God. 2, don't take the Lord's name in vain. 3, keep the Sabbath. 4, honor your mother and father. So we go from the first 3 commandments, they all talk about God. Then the 4th commandment talks about life in the house, in the home, in the household. And the 5th commandment goes from inside the house to outside the house. The 5th commandment is you shall not kill. So what does this mean? It means we are to fear and love God so that we neither endanger nor harm the lives of our neighbors, but instead help and support them in all of life's needs. It's a hard commandment. And we see once again how, and we talked about in confirmation class, how where Luther gives a commandment, he doesn't give the commandments, but when Luther describes the commandment, God doesn't kind of leave us in the dark. He says, what's bad? But, he says, but instead of killing, help and support people in their time of need. So the question, it may seem like an obvious one for this week, but it's simply, what does it mean to kill? Obviously, we associate killing with actual physical, harm, but it's more than that. I think that we too often get hunkered down in this kind of simplistic understanding of the commandment, and I'm not trying to say that it's good, but we kill in ways other than in physical acts of violence. We kill with not doing, and we kill with what we say. And this is how Luther describes his commandment. He says that the use of the tongue, as he calls it, we do violence to others, we kill others in a sense when we talk down to them or when we, say things that hurt them. I'm sure all of us, to some extent, have been bullied. You know that it's not fun, and things stay with you. They hurt, and they may not literally kill you, but it kills a part of you. It's something that stays with you, and it hurts, no doubt. So there's the first, and that's the use of the tongue. And the second is inaction. So this commandment charges us to, when we see people who are in need, we see people who need food, we see people who need a glass of water, we see people who need clothes. We're charged, and we are challenged even, to help those people. This passage, this description might call to mind Matthew 25, where Jesus says, when you give the stranger food, when you give, the person who needs water, when you clothe the person who needs to be clothed, you're doing all of those things to me. We don't do anything to earn God's love and God's grace. And we don't earn it. But we're called to respond to God's goodness and God's love to us. And we can do this in part by helping those who, for whatever reason, can't help themselves. In so many ways, that's what being a Christian is it not? So, Luther uses the commandments as a mirror. And this means that the commandments are meant to be placed in front of us. And what we do is we see all these things that we're supposed to do, but aren't always able to do. And what it does is, by holding up a mirror and using the 10 Commandments as that mirror, we see ourselves in the reflection. And by doing that, we're able to relate to one another. We're able to find a common thread, a common trait with all of us to help us, find community and to find the place where we find salvation and love and graciousness in God. So this week, think on this. Think on what it means to kill. Think on ways that you might be killing. And think on ways that maybe you are being killed. And again, hopefully not physically, but inside. And even think, about ways that you may be doing this to yourself. One of my favorite devotions to do is you finish the sentence. You say, in my eyes, I am blank. Fill in the blank. Do a couple of those, and then after that, try this. Say, in God's eyes, I am blank. More often than not, we have tapes playing in our head that tell us we're not good enough, that we, aren't fit to be who we are. We're not smart enough. We're not skinny enough. We're not athletic enough. And sometimes we just need to be reminded that we are made perfect. God, we are made beautiful in every way. And, sometimes we have to be reminded of that. So whenever you're killing yourself inside with these tapes, try to remember that. Try that exercise. See how that goes. So I'll leave you with that. As always, if you would email me questions, that would be wonderful. I hope that you have a wonderful week. Apologies for the late video. And have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care.